Terence Crawford against Jaron Ennis, for me, is the best fight in American boxing. But it needs to be a payday for Crawford that would get him interested, because Crawford knows how good Boots is. And I'm not saying that Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots, but he knows that is a real fight. But for me, Boots is the new Crawford. We've just got to go out and get the fights to show how great.
Jaron Ennis surprised the boxing world when he shared his honest thoughts about Terence Crawford's place in history.
That's the fight that everybody wants to see. Yeah. I want to do it.
Do you respect him as, like, when he's like, I got a couple fights left, I'm at the end, I'm only trying to get mega fights, so...
I understand it, but don't lie or kept to the net and make it seem like I had the opportunity to fight you and I didn't. I never did. You know what I'm saying? And then that one time that I did, we said they called, and we said we never heard nothing else back about it. So
right.
I mean, I respect it though. I mean, get your money. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, but don't be capping on the net.
That's a good fight. That's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. Probably at middleweight or something. That's like a vacant belt. That's definitely up there. That's definitely a big fight. Probably Shakur and Tank too, maybe. That's like right on the scene. But yeah, that's that. He might not be lying. That might be the biggest fight.
Instead of placing the three-division undisputed champion among the all-time greats, the rising star admitted he doesn't see Crawford in that category. Even though fans and analysts hail him as one of the best ever after his monumental win over Canelo Alvarez, Ennis's personal favorites remain past legends like Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, and Sugar Ray Leonard. While many were surprised he didn't rank Crawford higher, the young American made it clear he has his own list of icons, and Crawford isn't on it.
With this win, everybody said Crawford elevated his status. He's the GOAT. Do you think this win puts him on Mount Rushmore or makes him a GOAT in boxing?
Everybody got their own opinion. So,
what's yours?
My opinion is I like who I like. You know, I like Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker.
What do you think?
I'm liking Sugar Ray Leonard. I've been watching a little bit of Sugar Ray Leonard. James Tony. So they my top guys that I've been watching. You know.
Fair enough.
The timing of Ennis's comments only fueled ongoing debates, as Crawford had just achieved one of boxing's most historic victories. Earlier this month, he moved up and defeated Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez by unanimous decision to claim the undisputed super middleweight championship, becoming the first male fighter in history to win undisputed titles in 3 different divisions. The fight was one of the most anticipated in recent years, with intense discussions about whether Crawford's size disadvantage would hurt him against the bigger man. But on fight night, the Omaha native proved that skill and ring IQ can prevail, outclassing Canelo and adding another defining chapter to his legacy.
We shot and we landed at the same time. I looked at him and I told him, like, yeah, you felt that. I was just letting him know that it's going to be a long night.
Last 30 seconds of the fight, what was going through your mind then?
Close it out. Just close it out. If I didn't have that mindset of finishing the fight and making sure that I close it out, then it would have been a draw. Being that I wasn't the champion, I was the challenger. I wanted to make sure that the judges see that I was in control from the beginning to the end. I just knew it was going to be my day. I came out smiling. I don't never come out smiling. I'm always focused. I was ready for whatever he brought. I was just in the moment.
However, for Ennis, admiration doesn't automatically mean placing someone among the all-time greats. The Philadelphia native, who has already unified titles at welterweight, is focused on carving his own path. Next month, he moves up to super welterweight for the first time to face Portugal's Wis Lima at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Interestingly, one fighter who didn't hesitate to acknowledge Crawford's greatness was Roy Jones Jr., another name Ennis counts among his favorites. The Hall of Famer, widely regarded as one of the best of his era, was asked who he currently considers the best fighter in the world. Despite recent wins from Alexander Usyk and Naoya Inoue, both pound-for-pound stars, Jones insisted Crawford sits at the very top. He said, "Right now, I have to go with Crawford because of how much he climbed. He climbed a little more than Usyk did. Generally, guys at lower weights are more skillful than higher weights. Usyk is highly skilled for his division, but Crawford had to be more skilled. He moved from 135 to 160. It's a bigger field of domination, so you get a lot more skill in that field. I give it to Crawford, but Usyk is a close second. Could be 1A and 1B. Both are very high-tech guys." The comparisons didn't stop with Usyk and Inoue. After his win over Canelo, fans debated whether Crawford had surpassed Floyd Mayweather, who retired undefeated at 50 and is widely considered one of the greatest fighters of all time. When asked directly if he now ranked himself higher than Mayweather, Crawford responded with humility and respect. Rather than claiming the throne, he made it clear he had no interest in comparing himself to Mayweather. In his view, Mayweather is one of the greatest ever, the defining fighter of his era, while Crawford sees himself as the defining fighter of today's generation. He also credited Mayweather for setting the blueprint fighters like him could follow, from work ethic to discipline, showing the path to reach the very top.
Everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
While Crawford continues to make headlines, his longtime trainer, Brian McIntyre, offered insight into how much longer fans can expect to see him in the ring. McIntyre, who has worked with Crawford since his 2008 debut, suggested the 38-year-old likely has 2 or 3 fights left before retiring. He noted that Crawford made his win over Canelo look almost effortless and hinted that the team is already planning what's next. One possibility is a move down to middleweight to challenge Janibek Alimkhanuly, the unified WBO and IBF champion. The hard-hitting Kazakh has welcomed the idea, seeing it as a chance for Crawford to attempt a 6th weight class title.
As trainer, do you feel like he should just sail off into the sunset after this monumental
Well,
win?
you know what? They made it look so easy. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2-3 more in him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.
They're making 5 weight divisions. There's not many people there.
That'd be
It's
great.
just Oscar and Manny.
Okay, that'd be great.
If not, do you think he stays at 160? Would you want to see him stay at 160?
I don't know. We'll see.
In terms of just overall, I know a lot has been said about Terence now being amongst the greatest fighters in history. Where do you rank him? Should we rank him like that? Is it difficult because in your eras?
I'll say when you say all the best, name the best fighters ever in the history of boxing, you're gonna have to say Ray Robinson. You're gonna have to say Jack Dempsey. Then you gotta say Terence Crawford. He's up there. He's definitely up there.
Speculation about Crawford's next move continues. One intriguing name calling him out is Sebastian Fundora, the towering WBC light middleweight champion, who stands 6'5" 1/2 inch. Fundora admitted he rooted for Canelo in their fight due to the size difference but acknowledged that Crawford's ring intelligence secured the victory. Despite his height and reach advantage over most opponents, Fundora said he would welcome Crawford back down to 154 pounds if that's where the Omaha star decides to go, though he also recognized that Crawford may be looking ahead to 160.
When I saw, I think he's going back to 160, but yeah, we welcome him. Why not?
Gabby, for you on the weekend, I know you're a big supporter of boxing and whatnot, and I think I've actually seen Crawford speak about you sometimes in interviews. What did you think of the fight, and were you rooting for Canelo, or did you think that Crawford could do it?
I was also rooting for Canelo, but again, to going off Sebastian, that it was Crawford fought smart. Crawford fought smart. He knew his range and his shots, and he felt comfortable that there was times where he was fighting in the inside with Canelo and he was getting the better shots. So I think he felt comfortable in that division, and he'll probably stay there. Maybe go down one weight class down, but who knows? Props to him. They're 2 icons in the legend in the sport of boxing.
Well said. Do you think the rematch needs to happen? What's the next fight for Crawford for both of you? What do you think that is it a rematch or?
It probably won't be a rematch. I don't think so. There's no need. There's no reason to.
It didn't look like Canelo wanted that rematch, honestly, but Crawford could do whatever he wants right now. He can go up if he wants to. He can go down. I hear there's talks of him and Benavidez, so there's all kinds of names that are coming. Yeah, are coming out for Crawford. Crawford is the #1 in the sport right now, so everything. He has everything right now.
All the attention is on Crawford, but the aftermath of his fight has been just as significant for Canelo Alvarez. For the first time in 7 years, the Mexican superstar is without a world championship belt. His loss to Crawford marked only the 3rd defeat of his career, joining Floyd Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol as the only men to beat him. With 68 fights already, speculation arose about whether the 35-year-old might consider retirement, especially as recent performances hinted he may no longer be at his peak. However, reports confirm Canelo isn't finished yet, though his return will be delayed due to elbow surgery, keeping him out until at least April next year. His planned February comeback in Riyadh is now postponed to the second or third quarter of 2026. Who he faces upon return remains uncertain, with possibilities including a rematch with Crawford, a move up in weight to face David Benavidez, or another high-profile opponent.
Start out with Canelo Alvarez. I understand you have an update.
Yes, Max. Canelo Alvarez obviously coming off of that tough loss to Terence Crawford earlier this month. I'm told that he's going to have elbow surgery. He was set to return in February in Riyadh for the third fight of that deal. That fight is now going to be delayed until Q2 or Q3 of 2026. So Canelo's going to have the surgery and then he'll come back.
For people who don't know, what does Q2 and Q3 mean?
The second quarter of the third quarter
Second
of the year.
or third quarter.
April, May, June.
So anywhere between
April and
January,
September.
February, March
Q1
is off. That's Q1. So anywhere from April
to September.
Through September in that area.
In that area, Canelo Alvarez still the face of boxing. Even after the loss, he's going to come back, and the expectation would be it would be in Riyadh. He has 2 more fights remaining on that deal with the Riyadh team.
Legendary fighter and promoter Oscar de la Hoya also shared his thoughts on Canelo's future after the loss. When asked if he believes the Mexican champion is finished, de la Hoya rejected the idea that Alvarez is done. He noted that Canelo still has the tools to stop opponents who engage in fights that play to his strengths. However, he also suggested that Canelo's career now may hinge on matchmaking, meaning it depends on who is put in front of him and whether those fights can still generate fan interest. It's less about Canelo's abilities and more about how promoters and managers plan the next steps in his career.
Don't get me wrong, Canelo facing the right opponent that's going to stay in front of him, that's going to fight, that's going to make it a brawl, Canelo knocks him out. So I'm not saying Canelo's shot or done. No, it's far from it. It's all on the matchmaking. It's all who you put in front of him. It's all about squeezing those last dollars from the fans, Canelo. You want to squeeze the fans.
What about the Mexican?
Come on, take it easy on the fans.
Oscar, what about the Mexican?
Adding more fuel to the debate, former world champion James Toney shared his thoughts on a potential Canelo versus David Benavidez matchup. Known for his bold predictions, Toney believes Benavidez would be the first fighter to stop Canelo inside the distance. In his view, if the two ever meet, Benavidez would knock Canelo out. Benavidez has already moved up to light heavyweight after failing to secure a super middleweight fight with Canelo and was crowned WBC champion earlier this year. His first defense is set against Britain's Anthony Yarde in Riyadh this November, but he has left the door open for a future clash with Alvarez. If it happens, Toney is convinced it won't go the distance.
From him facing Canelo, what do you think it's stopping that fight?
Canelo's a little nuts.
You think so?
That's all. He's scared of that. Canelo is scared. Scared. You know, he fight Benavidez, he get knocked out. He get
like James Toney. A lot of people have said that if Canelo keeps on waiting and waiting for Benavidez, it's actually going to become harder to beat him. Do you agree with that? It's good to Canelo should get him right now because I guess quote unquote he's not fully seasoned. But if he gets him later, Benavidez is going to roll right through him. Do you agree with that?
It don't matter. He gonna roll him right now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If he fights Canelo right now, he's gonna steamroll him. That's how Tommy Hearns did Vampiro Cuevas. How Tommy Hearns did Roberto Duran. Same result. I promise you. So that's why that boy Canelo's scared. Him and all his people can get their mariachi band and stay over in Mexico.
Looking at the bigger picture, boxing right now revolves around Crawford's legacy, how it compares to past and present fighters, Canelo's recovery from defeat, and rising stars like Ennis and Benavidez carving their paths. Fans are left with multiple compelling storylines. Crawford chasing history with a potential 6th division title, Canelo's comeback after surgery, Ennis making his mark at a new weight, and Benavidez being seen as the man who could finally stop Canelo. No matter how it unfolds, the sport is experiencing a fascinating moment where the past, present, and future collide.